All right, what is up, everybody? It has been a while, like I guess 9-ish months or something like that. I don't know, since I've actually uploaded like a real review video of a keyboard. Last one I did was of the Taco 75, and that one actually did really well. So I don't know why in my stupid brain I just didn't record another review video, but we're back with more stuff. Today I will be reviewing something way nicer, something that's really, really nice, one of my favorite boards in my collection, and that is the Cloudline TKL by JJW. This board is awesome. I love this board to death. It's definitely one of my favorite just boards I've ever tried, and I originally tried this board at the Novelties 2023 meetup, and then I went to the Texas Roundup meetup in Dallas, Texas, which are a lot of cool people at. And there was a brass Cloudline there, which is really nice, but sadly I could not type on it, and there was no other Cloudline I could actually use. But now I have my own, and I can say that this board is fantastic, and it is definitely worth it. So, this board, I think, was JJW's first keyboard. I'm pretty sure it was. But, yeah, this board, I think, ran while back, and then since it's his first keyboard, obviously it's not as optimized and like all that as some of his newer boards that you see, but this still I think holds up really well. I think extras were around $600, so aftermarket price is kind of high. I think if you want to get one now, you got to get it off Mech Market, and it's gonna be about like $630. I got mine below 600 because I wait till I find something super good, and then I just like DM. So yeah, I just kind of got lucky with mine. That's like the best excuse I got. But yeah, I use this board pretty much all the time. This is one of my main go-to keyboards, and I think it's pretty good. It's a top mount gummy O-ring TKL keyboard. I mean, it's gonna be nothing fancy. This is an older keyboard, so I mean, when I saw gummy O-ring, it's like, yeah, I think this is gonna be for me, because a lot of the boards I like are gummy O-ring, and gummy O-ring is something I have way too much of. Like, I think I have like 4 or something gummy O-ring 60% keyboards, but I like all of them, so I mean, I guess it works. But yeah, yeah, sound-wise, this board is fantastic. I currently have lubed film MX Blacks on a polycarbonate plate, and I have these $20 beige EPBT keycaps that I got from Near Lucid. So, yeah, I mean, I think the keycaps work fine on it, and I think it sounds great. I mean, it's MX Blacks on polycarbonate, so obviously it's going to slap. So, I mean, I think that's just how it is. MX Blacks will just sound good in almost anything, which I like a lot. Now, I can't say anything about the top mount for this board because, yeah, I use gummy O-ring, and I use the 30A O-ring in this, which is the lightest O-ring I've ever used. But I think it sounds fine. I think it's great. Again, this is not going to be a super flexy board. You're not going to get a lot out of it, which I think is something that a lot of beginners have to realize about higher end boards. I mean, I don't know what they think about flex anymore, but I know when I was a beginner in the hobby, it was like flex, flex, flex. That's when flex cuts started getting big and all of that, and it's like, I really just don't care for them. I mean, if a board sounds good, this could be way more important to me than how it feels. So, I mean, that's just my stance on it. You're not going to get a lot of flex, a lot of feel out of this board, but it is going to sound fantastic. All right, so colors-wise, you've probably seen my face get brighter because I pulled it up. But yeah, there is navy, dark gray, red, and silver. And there was also a brass option, which again, I got to see at the Texas keyboard meetup, which it looks nice. I wish I could have held it because it looked heavy as crap. And I don't know, I just think that would have been something cool to try out. I am interested in getting a brass keyboard soon, which luckily the Frog Mini Ligera, or whatever it's called, is having a full brass version, which I will be getting that when it drops, as long as it doesn't sell out instantly. But that's unrelated to this keyboard. But yeah, this board gonna be a pretty classic TKL. I'm gonna go ahead and do a sound test. MX Blacks on polycarbonate, gummy O-ring 30A, and just some EPBT beige keycaps. So yeah, that's how the board sounds. Pretty classic sound signature. I mean, it's gonna be, you know, just a typical TKL, but it's gonna be one of the best TKLs you've ever used. So just typical high-end TKL stuff. You can't go wrong with it. It's going to slap. MX Blacks are probably just the way to go in high-end keyboards. As basic as it sounds, I mean, you see it everywhere, but I mean, people use it for a good reason. I mean, people gotta use it because it's a banger, it slaps, it's gonna sound good every single time, and that cherry scratch is something that you're never gonna get tired of. It just is what it is. It sounds fantastic. I recently built a Neo 80 for a friend, and I used MX Blacks in that, and he loves it. It sounds actually really close to this, because I used a polycarbonate plate with that one, but I used the gasket grommets instead. It sounds pretty close to this, but I still like this a little bit more, this Cloudline right here. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. Now, getting a Cloudline today, yeah, you got to get it off Mac Market. You can't get this thing anymore. However, JJW did announce, I think it's called the Q3 TKL, but it's basically just a Cloudline R2, or yeah, just something like that, Cloudline V2. It's basically just the inside weight of the Cloudline looks amazing, right? But it's like mirror PVD designs on like the mirror and everything, but it's on the inside. You're never gonna see it unless you're building it. And he's putting, I guess, something like that on the outside. And apparently it's supposed to like change a lot of the acoustic stuff, because the biggest problem with this board is that it needs force break. I mean, if I'm paying like $500, $600 for a keyboard, I feel like I should like not have to do something as cheesy as force break. I'm gonna be real here. I mean, he kind of did that with the derivative, and yeah, it's like if I'm paying that much, I shouldn't really have to do that. I mean, people have found ways around it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, what is it, the Cycle 7 or like the Arc 60, they both have like their own built-in force break, which I feel like people should just start implementing, because it just removes any idea of hollowness and just solves all of that. Like, I don't know. I just think it's an easy workaround that people just aren't implementing, and they should, if there's a hollowness problem with their keyboard. But yeah, that's about all I got. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. This is just a really good, well-rounded TKL keyboard, and you should go ahead and join the JJW Discord on his website, because you will find everything about the new Cloudline that's coming out, and I would highly suggest looking into that, because it looks fantastic. Because as good as this is, I'm pretty sure the remake is just this, but modernized, and it's going to be 10 times better. And I will definitely be picking one up when it happens. So yeah, that's all I got. Go ahead, check out this board. Check out all of JJW's stuff, because I have other boards from his that I want to review, and they're all fantastic. They're all great keyboards, and you can't go wrong with them. So yeah, that's all I got. Adios.